We have a man of power and authority, and he used that in the court. In a small town in Texas, he was able to manipulate this entire situation to his benefit.
No one heard me and no one listened to me because my child was taken out of my yard. When you know that the law is being turned against you, and it's like, where do you go? Who do I tell at this point? When you know a judge is conspiring against you.
Steve Harvey has grown his career to a peak that is pretty hard to miss, and with his focus on building relationships and home, fans have grown curious of how he is doing in that department. And while the quest to know more about it is on, details may have revealed that his ex-wife has exposed him for kidnapping their son. What's this all about? Keep watching to find out. Steve's dedication to fixing relationships has led the majority to wondering how things ended between him and Mary. But Mary Harvey is now speaking out with her own stories about what happened with her ex-husband, and she is making some major claims about the popular entertainer. Mary Harvey did an interview with an unnamed person who stood behind the camera. Here, she spoke out against Steve Harvey, accusing him of stealing their son, Wynton, from her home. Then, she went on to say that he even turned some family against her, using his celebrity status. How true is this? These dark details that Mary revealed led from one thing to another and landed Steve in a hot water of lawsuits. The lawsuit against Steve Harvey, made by his ex-wife Mary Harvey, has alleged child endangerment, torture, and much more for upwards of $60 million. According to court documents obtained by News, the comedian's ex claims that her life has never been the same following their divorce in 2005. Mary alleges that she's been suicidal and has resorted to self-medicate in an effort to handle the aftermath of their highly publicized and highly contentious divorce battle. Also, she claims to be suing Steve for a lengthy list of things, including child endangerment, torture, conspiracy against rights, intentional infliction of emotional distress, breach of contract, and even soul murder. The lawsuit states soul murder is achieved by a combination of torture, deprivation, and brainwashing. It continued, the plaintiff had her son, had her businesses taken from her, nowhere to live, all Mother's Days have been painful and empty.
But on top of that, he took my Wynton. Took my Wynton from me. He turned my son against me. Had me evicted from our house. Thrown out. All the businesses.
And Mary attested to this. Well, it does look pretty bad for Steve. Additionally, Mary's lawsuit was filed in a court of law by Mary's civil rights activist and not an attorney. Back in April, Mary posted a series of YouTube videos alleging that she never received her divorce settlement after the two split. The judge said her divorce would be contingent upon the division of community assets, but that never happened. She stated, Steve Harvey owes me $50 million and I want him arrested for violating my civil rights. I want him charged with a constitutional rights violation, falsifying documents, perjury, contempt of court, embezzlement, extortion, and collusion. For what he's done to me, I want to see Steve Harvey behind bars.
Couldn't focus. I couldn't answer any of the questions that they were asking me, and I woke up, everything was gone. It was just gone. And as much as I tried to put it behind me, it's hard to put something behind you that keeps popping up in your life. When I saw the Essence magazine for January 11, to keep seeing my name.
Well, that sounds serious. Steve Harvey is clearly a famous family man with a lot of influence within Hollywood, but would he be able to find his way out of this mess? For those unversed, Mary was married to Harvey in the spotlight of his career, and the relationship lasted 16 years before ending in a bitter custody battle and divorce in 2005. She was Harvey's second wife, but their split pitted them against each other, with Vaughn allegedly cooking up some nasty claims about him. Vaughn also told the world about how Harvey was stepping out on her while they were together and that it felt like getting shattered into pieces. But she didn't leave being unable to cut her losses, especially after how much of herself she had invested. Despite her faults, the woman seemed to have a genuine love for her family and had worked hard to build it into her support and foundation. Above all, the only child she shares with the famous comedian, Wynton, needed a family. It was something she'd never had, which is why she did not want him to grow up in a broken home. Steve and I literally came from nothing, she once said. I had worked hard, I had given him my all up to that point to help make him successful. As far as Vaughn was concerned, she deserved better, and so did her son. And after the divorce, Vaughn was denied closure, but that did not hurt her as much as losing her son. According to the aggrieved woman, Harvey somehow turned her child against her and kicked her out of their home. As expected, her allegations quickly spread like a desert fire, but luckily Harvey had people standing up for him and calling Vaughn out on her claims. What is confusing, however, is what is indeed the truth, Steve's side of the story or Mary's. Meanwhile, Vaughn's former assistant, Jocelyn, was among those who sided with Steve. She described her former boss as erratic and remembers what transpired differently. She opened up saying, "She asked me to get a ticket and put Wynton on the plane to his father. I had to put him on the plane and not let Steve's party know until 30 minutes before he landed." The matter eventually found its way to court, but instead of receiving the justice she felt she desperately deserved, the judge slammed Vaughn for her false allegations. The judge noted that she had not been evicted from her home, nor was she ever homeless at any point because she was awarded 3 homes in the property settlement. She also received $40,000 per month through March 2009 and an additional $1.5 million. As far as her claim about Harvey taking her son from her is concerned, court documents revealed that Mary willingly placed the child on an airplane and sent him to Mr. Harvey without his knowledge. Here is how Vaughn responded to that. People say, "Move on with life." Mary, but how can you move on when you don't have rights to your child? How to move on when nothing is fair. Vaughn was banned from talking about the divorce, but the woman refused to adhere to the court order, which led to her arrest. Oops. Well, a judge found her guilty of contempt of court, so she was sentenced to 30 days in jail. When she broke her silence on the matter, she revealed that she merely wanted to tell her side of the story. About her showing up to court without an attorney, Mary said it happened because she could not afford one, whereas Harvey was in court with a legal team and an entourage, a fact she pointed out. Speaking about the reason for her anger, Mary said that she only felt that way because she forcibly missed 6 years of her son's life that she couldn't get back. Oh, but she didn't stop. She alleged that during their marriage, which lasted from 1996 until they split in 2005, she was supposedly subjected to prolonged torture with the infliction of severe mental pain and suffering. Additionally, the woman allegedly endured severe emotional distress that led to medical conditions for her and her close family over the last 1.5 decades. Mary's suit, which civil rights activist Essie Berry filed, was defended by her, but Berry acted as her power of attorney. Harvey's legal team denied all the allegations and vowed to defend the TV personality from them by all means, and indeed, they did. And so it was a resounding defeat for Mary, who now seems to know better. Let's see how social media users have reacted. A user wrote, "Not only did Steve adopt Marjorie's grown-ass kids, Lori was the youngest and still like 12. Maybe. He took his son from his ex-wife, Mary Lee, and, according to her, blocked visitation at every turn. The Harvey backstory is MESSSSSY chilly." Another netizen added, "Sometimes marriages don't work out. Even though I think the way Steve Harvey ended his second marriage was messy, that it is the part about the son that was terrible. If it's true, keeping that mother Mary Lee from her child is bad and wrong. While Steve's fans have contrary opinions as a fan penned. I don't understand why Steve Harvey's ex-wife is blasting him now. He's already admitting all of his mistakes." And another fan added, "Steve Harvey paid his ex-wife $40,000 a month from March 2005 March 2009 and then paid a lump sum of $1.5 million in 9. So why is she mad?" Well, after his acrimonious split from Vaughn in 2005, the Family Feud host began his relationship with Marjorie Elaine Harvey, and they tied the knot in 2007. And the two have been together ever since. See you in the next video for more entertainment.